Hello and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my friend Emily with us from EG Creative. Good afternoon, Emily. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me back.
So, Emily, today my questions are around length of content. As I was joking before the show, I have some friends. They are amazing writers, and they'll write a blog post that goes on and on and on. Is longer better?
That's a really good question. And no, longer isn't always better. So I get this question a lot, and it's hard because people think, oh, well, Google must tell us how long we should have our content be, but they don't. Google's actually very vague about this if you try to find the guidelines or even if you manage to ask someone who works there. So what it really comes down to is you need to make sure that you're putting written content on your website that very specifically answers a question and provides some additional context, but all on a similar topic. So you don't need to write like 43 paragraphs explaining everything under the sun about marketing. You can pick one portion of your vast knowledge on your topic, like in my case, SEO. I might write a 500-word blog post on keywords and explain the top three things you need to know about keywords and give you a little context about the background and give you a little context about why I'm an expert on that topic. That right there would be fantastic. Usually you can get across core points that your audience needs to know in about 500 to 1500 words. There's a few use cases where longer is necessary, but generally speaking, it's just a lot of filler at that point.
So, Emily, I have some friends that, again, like to write. And what they want to do is they want to write one good piece of content and have it shared in multiple spots. So, like, oh, I'm involved in this networking group. I'll ask them to put it on their blog. And I'll ask my friend Emily to share it on her blog. If it's in multiple spots, is that as good as we think it is, or is that bad?
I'm really glad you brought that up because that's something that I'm trying to educate people on. So if you put content on your website, you want to make sure that you're only putting those exact words in one place, which is in this case your website. If you want to have it shared, say in like your professional network on a blog, you're going to want to ask those groups to put a link to your content. Say, hey, can you put a link saying, some of our members have created this great content. Click here to look at it. Or you can share a link to it across your social media pages. Ask your colleagues to do that. But if you put text in more than one spot online, Google is going to figure out that it's a duplicate and they're going to pick one and only one to show in search results.
Hmm.
So if you're putting something on your website and then you're putting it on like Medium and maybe like a Forbes contributor article, and maybe on LinkedIn, all of those other websites that have a pretty big presence online, those are going to be larger than your site, generally speaking, and they're what's going to show up in search, not your website. So it can help with like your brand awareness, but it's not going to get you traffic. It can actually hurt your blog in the long run.
But that's the key. I want to drive the traffic to my own website.
Yeah.
Again, I probably don't want to compete my website against Forbes or something like that. I'm probably going to lose. But that's
Yeah.
the key, right? As I wanted them to come back and not go, hey, that was great that you shared that on Kev's site, but it's not bringing the traffic back to you. And that's what we want in the end.
Yeah, you want to bring the traffic back to your site in the end because that's what you own and it can't be taken away from you. If you have the opportunity to create content like a guest blog post, say, let's say I did a guest blog for you, or I did get a chance to publish an article like on Business Insider or something, I'd want to go ahead and create something completely new for those posts. If I were to post on Medium, I'd be posting something different than what I'm posting on my website.
Makes sense. Emily, what's the best way for people to reach out to if they want to learn more?
You can find me online at egcreativecontent.com or look me up on LinkedIn.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes calling the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks, Kevin.